Good afternoon. So we're going to do some concreting. We've got an area in the yard that has been pretty horrible for the last few years. The concrete has kind of come apart. Grandad originally put it down probably 30 plus years ago, and it's kind of reached the end of its life. But as part of the Countryside Stewardship Capital Grant Scheme, you can get a decent payment, I'll just put it on the screen now, for concrete yard renewal. So it's not new concrete, it's for repairing existing concrete, and this is for the benefit of water quality. So the application process wasn't too difficult. The only kind of thing that was a bit of an issue was getting a catchment sensitive farming officer out. So they had to come out to the site to have a look over it and to check that it's suitable effectively for the grant. So I had to then prove that it would benefit water quality from undertaking this grant, renewing this concrete basically. That can be the only thing that's an issue, and it depends on what catchment sensitive farming officer you have. So we did get the approval. I had to do the maps, along work out all the area and submit that, and we've also applied for a rainwater harvesting tank and a filter on top. I'll put the two grant codes up there. I think RP18 and RP19 is the code, but those don't pay as much. So as with most capital grants, they don't really pay unless it's something you're going to do anyway, but if it's something you're looking at, then go ahead, get it, the money's there. You might as well use it. It's a bit of effort, it's a bit of work. You have to pay for it up front before you claim, but the process is not too difficult, but it's well worth having. So back in the December in 23, back in 22 when I applied for the grant, there was a limit of £20,000. Since then that limit has now been upped, so there is no top limit. And also the payment rate has increased. It was about £27 per square metre, now it's just over 32. So we did see a rise in payments, which was brilliant. So yeah, we applied for £20,000 worth of grant, including the rainwater harvesting tank and the filter as well. So that's the bulk of the area of the concrete out now. Going to do halfway to the road. So leave that half, I'm going to take that half out so we can still get in and out to part of the farmyard. That's all the concrete out, ready to be crushed. The crusher hasn't arrived yet, but should be here shortly. And I've also got a little bit all the way along the edge of the shed because we need to bring a water pipe. They seem to have found an electric cable annoyingly, but still looks intact. Yeah, let's keep going. While we're here, we just had a lip along the front of these sheds, this shed here, which we're just going to do a little bit better. So I pulled that out, and also we've gone about, I don't know, about 2 feet into the front of these sheds, just so we can slope outwards, so no water's running into these sheds. Seem to be finding a few farm drains that we didn't really know existed. I can try. Yeah, we'll make my plan.
Oh, SAFO regulations.
Access point for water and electric. So as well as doing the concreting, we're sorting out all the drainage as well on the farm, or making it a bit better. So we have two drains coming up from there. We have the what it's supposed to be called, the yard drain, the dirty water drain, which comes into this. And then we also have a gutter drain or a clean water drain, which comes that way. And they go into two different ponds behind the machinery shed. Dirty water pond, like yard pond, and then rainwater shed. You can see all the drain heights have been set now, all above there, and all the rubbish has been pulled up, and this is all the old concrete which is going to be crushed and used as hardcore as the base. So it's all pretty exciting, and it's all been a long time coming. Just behind me here on the end of that shed, that's where the rainwater harvesting tank's going to go to fill the sprayer. But also, as part of this, we've managed to sort out all the water pipes across the farm, and also future electric, just trying to future-proof everything so we know where everything is. So this shed behind me, well in front of me here, that's currently used for hay and wood and bits and pieces, that used to be a cattle shed and had water pipes and all sorts of stuff all the way under it. There's also water access just over there. Let me swing round. There's a water trough in that grass field there, and basically we have no idea where any of the old water pipes or anything goes. We did find one there, and then one behind me somewhere over there which went down to about 2 meters deep, so God knows where it goes. So anyway, we on our supply goes into our field there. This is new supply. I'm going to bring it along the edge of this barn to here, where we're going to have an access tap and everything there. New water tap there, and then we're bringing the water pipe along the bottom of all of this shed to this corner. So this tap's now going to be on a new supply, so we know where everything is. Also, we've brought the water from this corner across here to a tap on this corner, and then further brought the pipe over there, so at some point we can connect it to that tank in the field where we have no idea where the water comes from, so we know where everything is and it can be monitored. As well as this, we have brought some ducting all the way along the front of that shed, just as we're making a hole, put some ducting in. If any electric ever wants to go down there, we can. Same along the front of all this shed, put some ducting in, just to future-proof. There is some pre-existing electric cable that put in about 2 years ago that runs to the corner of this shed. So we've also put some ducting onto the front, because my brother's adamant that sometime in the future we'll get some fancy electric gates, but who knows. It's there if it ever happens. There's not much downside. Hardcore's all down now. Just starting shuttering. So as you can see behind me, the concrete is all done. The new stuff is a bit worn in now, a couple months later. We've got a hardcore edging all the way along the side here, so if we decide to do that in the future, which we probably will at some point, we can just go up to this new stuff. See, a fair bit more hay's gone out of the shed since last video. And then follow me this way, we have got rainwater harvesting tank. Just delivered, not yet plumbed up to there and from there. And we'll just sit it in this back corner here out the way. That all should be good. It's looking really good at the moment. We've had plenty of tractors and trailers and lorries and stuff over it, holding up well. Also in the middle of that entranceway, as you can see. So yeah, happy days. Now we'll go through the financials. Was it worth it? So here we are now, fully set up. Bloody heavy filter on there. It's got a pretty decent bracket on the back. That means we can get both downpipes straight into it. 16,000 litres. Got a fill gauge on here. It's already about 2/3 full after, I think it was 25 mil we've had. So that blue container there, that's not a spray shed, that's going to be just sitting on the back here. And then we've also got a tap to fill up to mains water, just for like peak summer if we ever run out. So I've submitted the grant claim forms now and money's all in the bank, so that's happy days. I mentioned before that you have to pay for everything up front and then you get the money back. So we just got just over £23,000 in grant, which is brilliant because I only applied for 20, and then a month later the payment rates went up, so happy days. And one thing to note, we did barely any of the work ourselves. Got a local contractor in to do it all. You can see the name, it's on the back of all the machinery. So in total, including all of the pipes and ducting and drainage and tanks and concrete and labour and filters and everything, the grant paid for 66% of the total, so 2/3, which I think is really good for something that we've wanted to do anyway. Bloody brilliant. If you were just going to go for the concreting itself and kind of skip all the rest of the other bits and pieces, I think it'd be about 60%. No, it wouldn't, sorry, it'd be increased. It'd probably be about 70. And if you did a lot of work yourself, I mean, it could be upwards, you're only really paying for the concrete and your own labour, I mean, it could be upwards of closer to 80, 90, so well worth doing, definitely. Thanks for watching.